Hey guys, it's Tessa from HandleTheHeat.com, and today we're going to be making homemade pumpkin puree. I cannot tell you how excited I am that it's finally pumpkin season. I hope you've been enjoying all the pumpkin recipes I've been sharing with you so far, and this is the perfect way that you can make your pumpkin recipes just that much better from scratch with a super fresh, pure pumpkin flavor. So if you'd like to learn how to make homemade pumpkin puree, then just keep watching. Okay, so to get started with my fresh pumpkin puree, I have 2 sugar pumpkins here, and you want to be sure to buy pumpkins that are specifically made for baking and not the ones that you would use for Halloween carving. The ones for baking are much less stringy and will be a lot more flavorful and not so watery. So before I can roast them though, I cut them in half. I took off the stem first and then cut them in half, and now I'm just scooping out all of that stringy flesh that's on the inside because we don't want to have that in our puree. But be sure to save the seeds because they're really good to roast and munch on later. So my pumpkin halves will go into a 375-degree oven for about 45 minutes or until they're tender and you can pierce them really easily with a fork. So before I can puree my cooked pumpkin, I need to take off all of the skin. And I just do this by using my fingers and kind of running my finger along in between the skin and the flesh and just pulling it off. It's as easy as that. It may take a few minutes, but you want to make sure to get as much of the actual pumpkin as possible and not take away too much of it when you're peeling off the skin. So now it's going to go into a food processor. You can also use a blender, but we want to make sure to use something electronic. You might be able to get away with using a food mill. I like to use my food processor because it's super powerful and it will take probably anywhere from 2 to 5 minutes to really puree, make sure that it's ultra smooth enough for baking or for adding into a pasta sauce or any recipe. So right now I'm still seeing some strings and some chunks of pumpkin, so I'm going to keep on processing it for about another minute and check out to see how it looks. And as you can see, it looks completely pureed, processed, smooth and creamy, and this is perfect. Some pumpkins are a little bit more dry than others, so you may need to add a splash of water to kind of loosen it up a little bit. And you can actually store fresh pumpkin puree in a Ziploc bag in the freezer and it'll last for months. Here's a little sneak peek at my pumpkin puree comparison post below. Can you guess which one is which? Okay you guys, so that's exactly how I love to make homemade pumpkin puree. As you can see, it's totally different in color than most canned pumpkins, and it also gives you a different kind of looser, more fluffy texture as well. If you'd like to see exactly how homemade pumpkin puree compares to the canned stuff, I'm actually including a comparison and a taste test on the post in the link below this video, so be sure to check that out. If you did like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and be sure to check out all of my other pumpkin recipes. I'll link those down below as well. Happy baking, and I'll catch you around next time. P.S. If you notice that my cabinets look a little bit different than most of my other videos, that's because we actually had them professionally painted and it made such a huge difference in this kitchen. We finally got rid of those horrible, hideous, old school 90s oak kitchen cabinets that were here before, and now we have these beautiful dark colored ones.